Evening and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host, Temba Madima. And this evening we are chatting to Gabriel Louw, all the way from the United States, all the way in the United States of America, 400-meter athlete, sprinting sensation. And yeah, he's joining us this evening. So looking forward to this one. It should be an awesome and interesting chat. Gabriel Louw is in the building. Samkelo Khadebe, I see you. Riku Kotza, I see you as well. K Mega, welcome guys. Hola, 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 Khadebe. I'm just gonna send Gavi an invite quickly, and then we're gonna get going. So welcome for joining in. Hope you guys are excited for this one. Make sure send your questions when you got them. Yo, Gavi,
How's it going, man? How you doing?
how you do? You well, bro?
Yeah, I'm well. How about yourself?
Cool, cool, cool. I'm sure nobody calls you Gavi. That's Gabriel, huh?
Yeah, I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna struggle trying to repronounce my name to everybody, so I just thought, you know what, Gabriel's the easiest. And I mean, I don't mind it, I became used to it pretty quick, so that's what it is, you know.
It is, but it's your name after all, man. It's a powerful name,
Yeah,
Gabriel. I
yeah.
mean, that's a big name right there. And yeah, man, look forward to chatting with you. It's gonna be cool, man, because it's you've been in America for a while now. You know, you left
Yeah.
here as a young bambino, clean shaven, South
Yeah,
African. Now you're a bearded American. You know, this
yeah.
has been a bit of a journey.
Yeah,
I see your
it's been
flags
a hell
there.
of a
That's
journey.
dope,
Yeah,
man.
always, man, representing home from here all the way, all the time, you know.
Mzansi.
Of
Yeah,
course, all the time, man. Never forget
I
where you're from.
I love that. I
Always
love
try to
that.
represent that.
Absolutely, man. How you been otherwise? You been good?
Yeah, man, I've been good. I've been busy, you know. School is keeping me busy. Training is keeping me busy, you know. Just my life in general has been pretty busy, you know. It's been quite a journey here so far, you know. I mean, living the American dream, I guess.
The American dream. All right, we'll get to that. I think there's so many questions that I want to ask with regards to that. And yeah, the guys who are joining in, guys, I see you, Daniela Yacher. Welcome to you. I see Peter Brummer says, "My broer, he's in here. Gladwin Mzazi International, he's in here as well. Libobo, I see you, Ethan. Bridgman, welcome, guys. Good to have you guys here. I won't get to all the names, but yeah, we appreciate it, guys. It is going to be good. All right, Gabriel, I'm gonna do an introduction, just so that those who are watching can know, who we're chatting to, and then from there on, we're gonna get started. Cool.
You can do that, of course.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. With us this evening, we've got Gabriel, aka Gavi Louw. For those Americans who don't know, he's in the building with us. He is a 400-meter specialist, the World Under 20 Championship 400-meter semi-finalist, CAA Southern Regional Championships 400-meter silver medalist, SA Under 20 400-meter silver medalist, as well as the National High School Championships 400-meter silver medalist. Ladies and gentlemen, Gavi Gabriel Louw. Some vuvuzela for you, man.
Thank you, yeah.
It's been a journey, man. Tell us about what's the current situation like in America now with athletics and this whole COVID situation. Yeah, it's been a crazy vibe. How are things there? You guys training fully? Everything open up and good?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was a hell of a change, you know. I mean, they canceled our outdoor season last year, you know, when we all became aware of this COVID situation and we all went back into lockdown or we went into lockdown for the first time. And I mean, we didn't have an outdoor season and I think that disrupted some people. And, you know, it was quite a big change because we went back and, you know, we all had to go back home and, you know, try to train on your own, trying to get to facilities and all that type of stuff, you know, trying to keep in touch with your coach. And, you know, it was tough, but I think K-State handled it pretty well. I'll definitely give a shout out to them because, you know, we definitely handled it as a team, the sports directors and everybody, you know, we had a bunch of rules. We we all followed it pretty well, and I think that's why we, got back so quickly and
Yeah.
bounced back as a team, because I think everybody also applied the rules very well. We all, I mean, some people, of course, we all had to go into quarantine now and then with like being, but that was all normal. That was all part of the process. Luckily, we didn't have a whole lot of positive tests and stuff within the team. It was just like a bunch of close encounters that we had, but other than that, we handled the situation pretty well. And I mean, now we're basically back to almost being completely back to normal. I mean, we still
Yeah.
have a pretty strict mask mandate on campus. We have to wear our masks in class and all that. But like the team itself, things are basically back to normal. I would say we're 90% there. Well, what
Nice.
normal used to be, or what the new normal is. We don't know that
That's it,
anymore.
man.
There's a
It's
very
all
thin
about,
line between that.
yeah, it's just about adjusting as quick as possible, man. I think
Yeah,
that's probably also one of the most important things about like this time now. It's all about mentality and just
yeah.
staying focused on your goals. I see Kyle Blichnoth is in here. Eben Vermaas, I see you as well. Welcome, guys. Bruker, Leo. I see you. Coach Willie Engelbrecht is here
Yes,
as well.
number
Welcome,
one coach.
welcome. Yeah, yeah. I see JD Prince Louw is in here as well. Jane
My
Tipo
Kansas
is in
brother.
here. Oh, is it? All right, all right, all right. I see you. I see. Oh, Zagiti Nene is in the building. Indis Kosana, welcome, guys. Good to have you here. But yeah, man, let's talk. Let's start from the beginning, man. I want to talk about this animal, which is called the 400 meter.
Oh
Probably
yeah.
one of the toughest, most unforgiving, brutal, ruthless event. How did this journey start, man? You could have been a sprinter or maybe high jump, long jump. When do
It's
you in
it's
your life
it's
begin this journey and decide to choose this 400?
yeah, it's actually it's not a very long story. It's actually, I would say, if you look at my family tree, there's not a whole lot of long distance or long distance athletes. All of them are javelin throwers. I mean, my dad was a phenomenal javelin thrower. My cousin Philmar van Rensburg,
Oh
he's
yeah,
a 80 plus meter thrower.
yeah, beast.
And, I had a long journey with Coach Billy, and then as I matured and I went through puberty, I could feel the changes happening. And as I struggled with the distance, we decided to make the transition when I was like a late 15, early 16, maybe we should
Yeah.
move to the 400 hurdles. And I mean, I think everybody was shocked to not see me pull up in the 800 or the 1005, and I'm sitting in the blocks in the 400 hurdles. But I think, I had to face a lot of adversity with that changes. It wasn't an easy change. It took my body a long time to change and, adapt to the 400 and all that. And by the time I was 17, I started clocking 47s and all that. And I think I made the right choice, because, and, we all know that, I qualified for the World Juniors, and I don't think
Yeah.
anybody expected that, because I mean, I was with Lisa Kellerman on the team, and we had a conversation on the plane on our way to Finland, and she told me that, of all the people that she knows and we ran together in the cross country and stuff, she would never expected me to qualify for this thing in the 400 meter, of all the events. But I would say I definitely made the right decision, because I mean, it's a hell of an event. I like it. It's tough. It's not for the faint of hearted. You have to. It's a lot of hard work. It's definitely a tough event. The 400 hurdles, 400 meters, not the easiest event, and I would definitely say it takes some courage and guts to run that event. Especially if you want to run fast times and compete against the best of the best in the world on an international level, or in the D, or like in the NCAA, the D1 schools and all that. It
Yeah.
definitely takes, but if you're South African, you're born tough. So I knew I wasn't gonna have a issue with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Boom.
yeah,
I love that,
yeah,
man. Put that on a shirt. If you're South
Yeah,
African, you're born tough. That's it.
yeah, that's a slogan for you right there.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, it's obviously, you said it's a transition. You were a distance runner, semi 800, 1.5, start to move on to the 400. At what point did you guys, did you know when you started clocking? Yeah, I mean, once you're clocking 47s, you know you're in the business. You know, once you sub.
Yeah,
Uh, at what point did you know, you and your coach, that this is something we want to do? I mean, even the journey towards qualifying for World Junior Championships. Let's talk about that, because I think that the World Junior Championships alone is like a whole story in itself.
yeah. The thing was that I ran my good time. I clocked 47.7 when I was 17. Ran against Sockies, and I knew, like, okay, listen, my foot is in the door, and now I want to be in the building. Now people know I'm here, and I want them to know that I'm here to stay, and to stay here
Yeah,
for a long time. So, and then when I was 17 in July, we moved to the Netherlands, and I disappeared for a year or so. Nobody knew where I was, and some people knew that I was in the Netherlands and some didn't. And then when we came back from the Netherlands, I got into touch with Coach Billy again, and because we lost some touch for like a year or two, you know. And then we sat down and we had a chat, and we were like, listen, coach, he knows that I can go far in the 400, and he understood, he knew what my potential and how to exploit that. So we sat down and we had a long chat, and we talking about me going to Swarkops and all that. And I mean, the rest is history. We sat down and Coach Willie knew exactly what to do with me. Him and my dad actually spoke about a program for me. And I
yeah,
mean, it all just worked out perfectly. And I mean, I came here, I knew I had the World Juniors in mind, and I was not going to sit back and, take nothing less than that. And the World Juniors was the end goal for me. That was what I wanted to achieve in my last year of
yeah,
high school, and also as a junior sprinter. I think that's a great way to go into your senior years, if you have a international race like that behind you and that type of
yeah,
pedigree. And I believe that, I knew that I was capable of doing it, because coming out of under 17, I knew that, okay, I was running international type times.
yeah,
And I just thought, you know what? And Coach Willie believed in me, and we worked incredibly hard. I was also very sick. I had a respiratory infection like the November before, heading into the senior year of high school,
yeah, yeah,
the matric year. And, we had to face a lot of challenges. It didn't come easy. I started, with 48s in that season, man. I was like, geez, am I doing the right thing? Was this, did I start too late? Did that, the illness actually set me back more than I thought. But, I decided, I woke up every morning, I trained twice a day, and I put in the work, and Coach Willie supported me every step of the way. And you know what? Before we wiped our eyes, I started running 46.9s and 46.6s, and I started dipping to 46.5s and all that. And that's when we knew, okay, the hard work
back
started
in the
paying
game.
off, and, I was in the building. And then when I qualified for World Juniors, I just, I was freaking stoked, because, I used to grow up watching some of the older sprinters going to meets like that, and I was just like, you know what, I want to be them. I want to run there one day. And and sitting here today, it's like, okay, now I have the same attitude about the Olympics one day. I'm not going to settle for less. The Olympics is definitely something that I want to achieve. I think any sprinter wants to achieve that. We had to face some adversity here too, injuries, a lot of injuries. New coach, new country, new
Yeah,
town, new people. And I mean, I never had to face, you know, struggles like, struggling with injuries, or going from indoor to outdoor or stuff like that.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean, it's definitely quite a a
Big
change in
transition, huh?
attitude. It's a big transition, and sometimes I miss Coach Willie's attitude about our training and stuff. I don't think the American coaches sometimes they they're very professional,
Yeah.
extremely meticulous about things, and you know that's something that I strive to as well. But me and Coach Willie had a bond that, you know, it wasn't really, it was very unique. It was since I was 9 years old, and I think that's something you look back to now and then, and you just miss it a lot. You know, you miss home. There's a lot of international athletes here that they have the same issues, you know, and we all walk the same walk together, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get on that. I want to take some comments because yes, what you're talking about this is spot on, man. That transition, coming from South Africa, weather, the sun, you know, Boerewors, braais,
Yeah, Bry.
uh,
I mean, Biltong. Yeah, I mean, it's cold today. You know, it's winter. You know,
hey,
it's
hey,
the weather here. The difference in climate is also a big change. You know, you wouldn't
yeah, yeah,
expect
yeah.
that to affect you so much, but you know, in South Africa, even during the winter time, you just put on some long sleeves and you can still go do a good workout on the
Quality.
track outside. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, you can go
absolutely.
outside when it's freaking -10, you know, even if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know what minus
It's
10 is, man.
definitely, yeah, man, when it's snow on the ground, 2 feet deep and all that type of stuff, you know.
Yeah. All right, so I want to take some comments, Gavi. I see Coach Willie Engelbrecht saying, respect, Gavi is one of the hardest workers in field. He pushes so hard in training. Could not walk often after some of the high intensity session. Talk
Yeah,
about those. What would you say was like one of your toughest sections to handle, man? Hey, everybody's got this
yes.
session.
I would say there was probably like 5 workouts or so that if that was on the week, you know, I knew, yeah, man. Probably one of the toughest ones was I believe it was a 3 times 565 seconds pace, walk over to a 150, do the 150 immediately, rest, and then you repeat that 3 times. Yeah, running on grass on Swarkops, trying to go 65 on a 500. I'm telling you, it was definitely a challenge. And then there was one where we did this closer to the World Championships in preparation for the World Championships, where you know, we did a 200 flat out, and then I turn my back after 30 seconds and I do another 200, you know, to basically
Back.
simulate that
Yeah.
lactic acid, that lactic buildup. And I'm telling you, one of those was enough to put your ass on the ground. You know, it was, and then we did a bunch of, we always did a bunch of 300 repeats, you know, 36, 37 seconds on the grass, 35 seconds on the grass, you know, flat out
Yeah.
stuff like that, or the 450, 350, 250, 150 pyramid workout was also a hell of a workout. But you know,
Yeah.
it was always not just trying to, but Coach Willie always taught me, you know, no matter how tough the workout is, just do the one rep at a time, you know. And I feel like that is always what got me through the workout. It's just like focus on the next one, and then you go through that one, and then you focus on the next one, you know. And before you know it, you're done with the workout. And I mean, yeah, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be burning, your legs are gonna feel like they want to break off, you know. But that's what the 400 is, you know. You're not gonna run sub 46 seconds if you're not used to your legs breaking off, because that's definitely the sensation you're gonna feel, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you say? What's the biggest difference, man? Like you said, South Africans, you know, born tough. It's different, you know, the way we train. It's so specific because our weather allows us to train the way we do, our conditions, just
Yeah,
our upbringing and so on. And the American system, literally, it's a system, you know. I think there's a lot we can learn from them as well.
yeah.
Um, what did you say is one of the things, number one, that you were most impressed or when you got to America, and what is some of the biggest differences between a South African program and like an American program in the 400 especially?
Yeah, you know, I often find myself thinking about these differences, you know. I would definitely say the thing that I was the most impressed of when I came here was the facilities, the support they give you, the amount of, you know, attention going into our programs, you know. I've never lifted really before I came here, and the type of lifting we do is so specific, and we start with basic stuff, and then we work our way up to like Olympic lifting and stuff like that. And it's stuff like that, you know, that's probably a major difference, because I feel like in South Africa we don't focus enough on, you know, the lifting part of our workouts, or, you know, stuff like that. And I mean, I used to get strong the old-fashioned way, you know, strap a tire on my back and run hills, you know, stuff like that. But I would
It
definitely
still
say
works, man. It works.
it worked, man. I mean, it definitely did its deed. But I would definitely say, like, in South Africa, you know, with Coach Billy and stuff, I got tough, and I got strong in almost like a 800-meter runner type of strong, you know.
I see what you mean.
You know, I broke through the lactic thresholds often through, you know, during my workouts, and I trained a lot of like basically focusing on how I can maintain not actually breaking through that lactic threshold during the race, you know, so pushing that lactic threshold as high as I can in my workouts, you know. And in America, I would say, yeah, we get strong by, you know, lifting our weights, you know, and the workouts are also, we do a lot of like speed endurance type stuff. And, you know, there's a lot of, we start with our fall preparation phase, you know, where we do a lot of like a lot more longer running stuff. And then we transition into, you know, the shorter workouts, but it's higher intensity, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I would definitely say also the weather plays a big role, because over here when it gets too cold, we move indoors, and it's a 60-meter straight, you know, 200-meter track. So it's definitely different training or preparing for a season on a track like that. You know, it definitely took me a while to adapt to something like that, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm still not used to it, because it's quite the transition to make every season. You know, a lot of us, I would definitely believe a lot of us struggle with that transition, but you know, some of us have more of a focused event indoors, where some of us don't. My coach definitely has a plan when it comes to stuff like that, you know. So, because I mean, there isn't 400 hurdles indoor, or you know, the 400 event indoors is, I would definitely say it's a much different event indoors than it would be outdoors, you know. There's definitely a difference.
Absolutely, man. I see here we've got some more people have joined in. I see T.S. Louw is in here, Tenolo. Welcome. I see Catherine Makaya is in here. Welcome to you. Nkabete, Nkobolo. I see you, brother. Welcome. Poor MKT is in here as well. Welcome. I see some Mozambique. Okay. I see Peter Bremer. He was saying Mozambique camp. I see Swanelo. Yeah. Ruan van der Walt is also in here, and so on. Welcome, guys. Maduba Mogada. I see you. Mariska. All right. Protocol observed. Let's continue. So, yeah, like you said, big transitions, America versus here. What about like the education system there? It's obviously, you know, you go to America, you want to be, there's this part where you have to focus on the educational side of it as well. You're a student athlete. That's what you are. They take care of you, but you've got obligations to achieve. What are you studying that side? And talk about balancing it. How is it to balance being, you know, you want to be this world-class athlete eventually, but there's the pressures of meeting the grades as well at the university and so on. How do you balance that part of life?
Yeah, I mean, before I decided to come to the US, you know, there was a lot of factors going into my decision, but definitely like trying to become the best person I can be outside of track and field was definitely a big part that played into it, because I mean, education is a big part of our lives, you know. And I would definitely say the education system here is top notch. You know, I'm a psychology major. I decided to go into psychology for a bunch of reasons, you know. And I would definitely say Kansas State definitely has one of the best, you know, psychology degrees that you can go into, and it's definitely a good program. But balancing the student and then the athlete life, we have a lot of support when it comes to that. You know, we have a whole facility where, you know, tutors are provided for us, extra help is
Yeah.
provided for us. We have advisors that check in with us on the regular, making sure, you know, our grades are good, you know, do we need anything? Are you struggling in this class, you know? And I mean, the
Yeah.
professors are also extremely helpful. They definitely understand, you know, where you come from, or if you can't make an assignment for some reason, they're very helpful. You know,
Yeah.
they want to see you achieve the greatest you can in their class. You know, it's not like, oh, it's a punishment if you can't make this assignment or so on, you know. And I mean, we definitely have great academic facilities, just as we have great practice facilities and stuff like that, you know, because
Yeah. Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're student athletes, and they want us to succeed in the student part just as well as they want to see us succeed in the athlete part of things, you know, because at the end of the day, I mean, education comes first, you know. Being an international athlete is one thing, but you always have to have a good education, I believe, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's what makes, I would say, athletics. I don't know about the other sports, but I mean, I think athletics, that's what makes it so important, because you go down the list, man. You look at all the top athletes in the country, whether it's field or sprinters, you know, education, university, finishing degrees. Most of the guys have degrees, you know, in the bag. And
Yeah,
it also plays a big role, because the university system, even in South Africa, although it's not as big as it is in America, that's what keeps um, the athlete that has transitioned from junior to senior. It keeps you, you know, afloat, because you
yeah,
do have a
yeah,
bursary and you're obligated to run and meet a
yeah,
few of those, you know, because take that away, it's hard, man. Let's
yeah.
talk
I
about this.
mean,
The transition, you know, from running with 19-year-olds, you know, and then all of a sudden you jump into the league. You immediately, I mean, you could line up in a race against, let's just say, Wait for Naked, for instance. And there's no,
yeah,
I'm 20 years old. You have to swim, Papa.
yeah.
Talk
I
about the
mean,
transition.
I mean, going from junior to senior is definitely like, there's no excuses, man. I mean, you're going from being a big fish in a decent sized pond, and then you go into, all of a sudden you're finding Nemo in the sea, huh? And you have to learn to swim, you know. It's all
And
these
find
big guys
Nemo.
around. Yeah, I mean, you're surrounded by the other great athletes, you know, 25, 26 year olds.
Hmm.
They're in the peak of their game, you know. And I
Yeah,
think you just have to keep that mindset of like, okay, I'm still a relatively young athlete, you know. There's still a long ways to go in maturing as a senior athlete, you know. So I guess the key to the transition is just like, I mean, you have to push through, man.
mm,
You have to push through that adversity and forget about that mentality of like, okay, I was one of the best junior athletes. You know, that doesn't matter. All of a sudden, that becomes extremely irrelevant. You know,
yeah,
it doesn't count anymore. You know,
mm,
yeah, good for you. You had a extremely good junior season, or you know, you were extremely good youth or junior athlete. You basically start on a clean slate when you move to seniors. You know, and I think that's
yeah,
also what I think that's a big mistake that a lot of junior athletes make. They expect to just hop in with the seniors and immediately start beating them, or you know, immediately be number one again or something like that. And I feel like that's where we lose a lot of younger athletes sometimes,
yeah,
due to
yeah,
like mentality, or you know. And I think if I had to change my mentality a lot, because you know, I came from one of the best seasons, or the best season I probably ever had in my whole life, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And it was like, okay, I'm one of the best junior athletes, you know. I'm internationally ranked. It's like all these things stacking up on each other, you know. And it's like, well, now you're running against people like the same age as you or a little bit older than you. They're seniors in university. They're on the top of their game. They're about to leave the NCAA and go pro or something like that. And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
well, for a little bit, you can't compare yourself to, you know, athletes like that for a while. You know, you should rather look up to them and strive to, okay, what can I do to become like what can I do to become a more mature athlete, or what can I do to become a better athlete, you know. But I think it all takes a lot of patience, you know. It's track and field is a patient sport, you know, even if it doesn't seem like that at times. But I think you need a lot of patience, you know, in this game, because at the end of the day, it's just you know, it's you and the stopwatch. But I'll definitely say, like, you have to be patient through the transition for sure.
Absolutely, man. You have to be. I mean, end of the day, you're still, what, 22 years old. When you look at peak years, look at the likes of Michael Johnson, a lot of these, you know, top sprinters, especially for the 400. I think the 400 is such a mature event where
Yeah,
it's years and years of training, and you have to allow yourself to get to those peak years, you know, because
yeah,
I personally believe a lot of, especially you get it with female runners, especially in South Africa, but also a lot of male athletes as well. They never get to their peak years, you know, something
yeah,
gets in the way. And it's not only, I don't blame the athletes completely. Some of it comes from support, financial
yeah,
support, medical, the works, you know, when you have to balance out taking care of the
yeah,
family and running PBs. PB is nice, man. Hey, a PB will take you a long way. I mean,
yeah.
uh,
I mean, I think one of probably there could be various factors going into like young junior athletes not seeing their peak years, you know. I mean, especially in like the sprint events, like the 400, you know.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
said, it's definitely a mature event, you know. You don't see guys running fast. I mean, let's take Wade van Niekerk, you know. He ran his best times when he became 25 and up, you know. He was good before that. I mean, he was excellent, but you know, he started really running fast times, you know, after he turned 25, you know. And I think that's definitely a trend you will see when you look at it, like major events like the Olympics and stuff like that, you know. It's definitely, and like if you look at the likes of Michael Johnson, you know, he ran the world record when he was 30 plus, you know, stuff like that.
yeah,
And I
exactly.
mean, I'm a 22-year-old sprinter now, you know. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, where has the years gone, you know? Just the other day I was a 17-year-old youngster just getting into the game, and
Yeah, yeah,
now I'm in America, and it's, I mean, I would definitely say support can take you a long way as well. You know, if you have the support
yeah,
system, you can definitely, people, the love, you know, that's what I also think it's tough. A major difference here, coming from a country where everybody knew your name when you're in the blocks and people are cheering your name when you're coming down the home straight and stuff like that, you know. It's definitely a major difference when you come here to somebody like to a new country, and not a single other person knows your name, you know. It's stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
That's definitely it's a major transition, you know. But definitely back to the topic of like sprinters reaching their, you know, their prime and stuff like that. If I take myself over here, like the medical support that I received here during my injuries and my time of like, you know, where I wasn't healthy or I couldn't run that much, you know, the amount of support that I got from my athletic trainers, you know, all that type of stuff was definitely major, you know. Like I
yeah,
didn't have to pay anything, stuff like that, you know. It goes a long way. It definitely goes a long way,
absolutely.
you know. And I definitely say it's stuff like that that can definitely make a difference in you seeing me run when I'm 27 or 28, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And health in our game is definitely a big thing too. You know, trying to maintain our bodies. It's tough sometimes. It's tough. You know, we break our bodies down every day. You know, you
yeah,
expect we're not machines. You know, you would, if you push something to the red line all the time. You know, you have to expect something to fail eventually. But that's why I think, you know, taking care of yourself, doing the prehab, doing the rehab. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
eating healthy. You know, and also a major part is like working on your mental health. You know, I think we underestimate how important, you know, mental health is in our, you know, in our sport, you know.
absolutely. Yeah,
And also like the type of like depression we experienced during time of injury, you know, going from the top of the world to the absolute rock bottom, you know, I think we definitely underestimate how that can impact our performances or our, you know, rehab, you know, or when we
Yeah.
get back to tip top shape, you know. And that also goes hand in hand with support, you know, the type of support you have during time of injury, or, you know, and I would definitely advise, you know, seeing a, you know, going to counseling, or, you know, talking to somebody that's close to you, like a parent, or, you know, because it's all type of stuff like that. I mean, we've seen mental health issues during the Olympics, you know.
Yep.
It's definitely a big part of our game, you know. And I would
Yeah.
definitely say that's also just as important as your physical health, you know. And that's what I've realized, you know, as I matured, you know, as I got older, you know, moving countries, stuff like that, it definitely impacts you, you know.
Yeah, of course, man. You can't ignore that type of stuff because, you know, end of the day, you know, when you step on the line, nobody cares about everything else. But
Yeah,
to get to that line as healthy, as mentally sound, as, you know, that's the most important thing. But only the athlete and the team behind them can make sure that when you get on that line, man, you're ready to go full blast without any fear or anything holding you back.
yeah,
Gavi, we're going to wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, you're gonna give us, you'll leave us with something powerful, um, just that will motivate the people. But I want to also check quickly before we wrap it up about we're having the Backtrack Athletics People's Choice Awards that are coming up. I think it's dope, man, because you know for a long time, well, we've never seen South Africa where the athletics community actually gets rewarded, and you know
yeah,
athletes get acknowledged, juniors, seniors, male, female, etc., etc. Even big role players and so on. So we're gonna be announcing the categories tonight. Should be tonight. And yeah, man, look, keep a lookout for that. I think it's something special. Hopefully, this will grow in years into, you know, some major red carpet events where
yeah,
you know the best athletes in the country walk down the red carpet. Will fly down a few of you guys one day as well. Who
yeah,
knows, man? Who knows?
yeah. I
You know, but I
mean,
think it's
that's definitely
important for our
important.
community.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll be doing that.
I think the more support we get from guys like you know, it definitely adds that little bit of boost in our, you know, in our self-esteems and stuff like that, for sure. Stuff like
Yeah,
that will definitely help the community and the growth of the sport as well, you know.
yeah, man. Our team is working hard on getting this one off. Obviously, with COVID, it's a bit
Yeah,
challenging, but no excuses, man. We keep going. So close us off with a message. Hit us with something that, especially for these young up and coming kids, man, something that will keep them, that will just motivate them. Advice that you would say has kept you going this long as well.
yeah. Well, one thing that has kept me going, I would say, is definitely like the Japanese proverb, meaning fall down 7 times, get up 8. You know, what
Yeah,
it basically means is no matter how many times you're down, you get up one more time, because you never know, that one time that you get up can make a massive difference. You never know.
yeah.
And that's what I think definitely keeps me going, because no matter how many times I fall down, you can bet your ass I'm going to get back up one more damn time, because you will not see me down, because I know for a fact if I can get back up, you'll definitely see me around for a long time. And
Oh, yeah,
I think that's definitely something that we all should think about, is when you're down, it's definitely not permanent, extremely temporary. And I think that's something we all should remember, like times of injury, times of depression, you know, stuff like that, times of, you know, things like that. It's temporary. You just have to get yourself back up. It will be tough sometimes. Sometimes you'll have to crawl back up, you know,
yeah,
you'll need some help to get back up.
yeah.
But when you're up, you know, you'll stay up.
Absolutely, man. Gabriel, it's been good, man. I really appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate coming here. I appreciate talking to you. It's been a good chat.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think also there's so much that I personally learned, and I hope the people who are watching, man, will also learn and take the advice, because that's what this chat's about, man. It's about the
Yeah,
athletics community sticking together. We can learn from each and every athlete, whether it's a junior or a senior. It doesn't matter. You can always learn, always be ready to learn, man. That's how you end up, like you said, become a better person. It's so much
yeah,
more important to be a better person than to be just an amazing athlete. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So thanks a lot. We'll be watching, man. We'll keep supporting, and we hope to see you back on the track, blazing those fast times again. Stay healthy, and all the best, bro.
Thank you, Baron. All the same to you too. Stay healthy, take care of yourself, and keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate what you do a lot. I think every athlete appreciate Backtrack a lot. I mean, through the years, Backtrack has been a lot of support as well.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
appreciate that a lot.
No, man, it's a pleasure, man. I think, yeah, from our side, always good, showcasing the athletic talent, man. That's what it's all about. Backtrack,
Yep.
by athletes, for the athletes. Always gonna look out for the athletes first, man, and then yeah, everything else will build from that. But Gabriel, it's been good, brother. Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
man.
Have a good evening. All the best
I'll
that side, and we'll chat soon.
I'll see you soon, man. Have a good one.
Cool. Take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it straight from Gabriel's mouth. I hope you guys enjoy the chat. We'll be back again soon. We'll be back again this week with another one. Like I said, remember, Backtrack Athletics People's Choice Awards. We're going to be announcing the categories, and it's going to be a very good show on middle of December. We're going to be launching that one. It's going to be a live show. You'll enjoy it. Take care. Oh, and God bless, guys. Take care. Good night.